what's the best way to study material, go out in the field, and like balance it out? What do some of the instructors at RSD do?
Okay, good question. So I will say first of all that the instructors all do things very differently. We all have different systems, and the systems are reflective of our personalities. So there is no one right or wrong answer to that question. I'll give you some general guidelines though. Guideline number one, try and spend a lot more time in the field than studying. Okay? That's guideline number one. Don't become a keyboard jockey. Don't become a guy who knows tons and tons of theory and never applies it. Okay, that's the, in fact, when I get students on boot camp, the student I don't want more than any other, like I'll take any student, I'll try and help anybody out, but the student who's like literally the most difficult to work with is the guy who has years and years and years of theory like built up in his head and has never gone out. Like some of the hardest students to work with I've ever had are that, because they try to have an answer for everything, they try and have a reason for everything, and they're so deeply in their head, but they don't have the reference experience for the material to even make sense, and so that's why it becomes confusing for them. So step number one, more field time than study time by far. I'd say like 3-to-1, 4-to-1 ratio of field time to study time minimum. Okay, so lots and lots of field time, that's number one. Number two, try and find some way to do two things with your field time. Number one, enjoy it, but number two, be pushing yourself. Okay, and there are a million different ways to do that, but you need to be enjoying it and you need to be pushing yourself. And so, for example, Tyler, what he'll do is he does a 6 steps exercise, because for him, he's a very logical person. He likes making progress. He likes to feel productive. And so by doing 6 steps, he's able to take massive action and feel very, very productive. And that's what gets him in state. And he's able to get tons and tons of reference experience and tons of learning experience very quickly. And so what he's trying to do more than anything else in field, he's not even as concerned with getting the girl as he is with learning. And so that's what intrigues him. That's what excites him, is the learning. So he's chosen a process where he can learn the absolute maximum and get as many reference experiences as possible, and that he can feel productive. So that's what works for him, and that keeps him pushing himself, and it keeps it fun for him. Okay? Alex, on the other hand, he had a video a while back where he was talking about the idea of like a 30-day challenge. And he said he doesn't believe in that. He doesn't believe in the idea of like going out every night and trying to game for 30 days. Because he thinks what happens there is you become robotic, you become like mechanical, and you lose the fun of pickup. Okay, so what he suggests, and I think this is a really good model in terms of the 3 areas you should work on. Not necessarily that you should work on them in this ratio, because this is what works for him, but that you should work on these 3 things. He says you should go out 3 nights a week, not 7. And in those 3 nights, you should have one night where you're focusing on a drill, focusing on whatever your sticking point is and fixing it with some kind of drill and not even trying to game properly, just working on the drill and working to learn. One night a week, you should work on just going out and doing your best game possible and get the best results. And then the 3rd night, you should just go out and have fun and don't worry about the results. Okay, so you're doing one night that's pure learning, one night that's pure fun, and then the middle one is like, if you were playing a sport, that's like game day, where you're doing the best you can. And so that's a really good approach for him, because he enjoys the club for its own sake. He doesn't feel the need to be super productive, but at the same time, he does have that one drill day to push his comfort zone. Does that make sense? So for anybody, those are the things you need though, is you need to keep it fun and you need to be pushing yourself. If you're doing those 2 things and giving yourself new stimulus, you'll get better. Those are the things that must be true in a game plan. Now, what your game plan is will vary for you and will vary based on what your particular sticking points are, what you view as fun, etc. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So 4-to-1, yes. So basically, whatever I'm doing studying, 4 times more being in the field, going out and approaching and getting the reference experiences.
Exactly. So the study doesn't make sense without the reference experience, and also you need to develop your own style. It's very, very important that the things you do come from you. One thing I will recommend, if you're really working hard on game and you're going out a lot, is try and after the field, think of the things you did that were good. Think of the things that you said that were good, things you did that were good, and think of ways that you could repeat them, and maybe even keep a list of them and write them down so you actually keep them in your memory. So that way you're not starting from scratch every single time, and you're sort of building your own repertoire, but it comes from you. So it's not like some silly canned thing that's incongruent, but you are actually building up your own sort of like, you're the reference to your own personality. So that can be really helpful as well. But yeah, you need to develop your own style. If you're just learning off other people and not going out, you will not develop your own style.
Okay, yeah, I can see that point, yeah. Tyler? You said something about Tyler's six-step process to getting on for him to get going. Is there a video on that or anything like that?
There is a video. I'm sure probably somebody knows a link for it. If somebody does know a link, please post it in the comments.
Okay.
If not, just do a search for Tyler 6 steps. I'm sure you'll find it. Off the top of my head, the 6 steps are open all, minimize time between sets, don't judge it, find something fun or funny in every set, keep it short and sweet at first, and then burn it to the ground as the night goes on. So those are the 6 steps off the top of my head, but there is an actual video as well. Just do a search for it if no one posts the link.
Okay, brilliant, fantastic. Can I just be sneaky and ask one more question, please? It's related to the to the one I've just asked.
Sure. Yeah, someone just posted the link, by the way. Yeah, go ahead.
Really appreciate that. What ways do you guys? Because I go out solo a lot in terms of like day game and night game. I do a lot of solo work. What ways do you guys methods do you use to get unstifled quickly and get you going? I mean, there's 1 or 2 ways I've got, which is just, like get the reference, go in and get the reference,
Mm-hmm.
That's all I keep saying to myself. I learned that with Julian, get the reference, but what other methods have you got to get unstifled?
I'll give you a few. One is I will dance, just like start like dancing, clapping my hands, that sort of thing, taking action. That works for me. Another one is I'll just start doing like obnoxious things that have nothing to do with pickup. Like if I'm in a club, sometimes I'll just start like tapping girls on the shoulder and be like, tag, you're it, and run away and don't even try and pick them up. Just like stupid little things like that. Or I'll tap them on the shoulder and then when we turn around, I'll point behind me like it's somebody else. And then they'll be like, what? And then they'll turn around and I'll tap them and then I'll point again behind me like it's someone else. Like just stupid little random stuff like that. That's just like purely self-amusing, has nothing to do with pickup. I discovered an interesting one this last weekend on boot camp. I was out and I was just feeling like low energy and I had my assistant there. And my student was in set with these really hot girls. It was the first set of the night for me. Like I hadn't done any. I was just feeling out of it. And I looked at my assistant. I'm like, slap me in the face. And he did. And I'm like, no, harder. And he did. And then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, it just brought me to life. I was like, that's good. And then I went in and ran like the best set ever. So I guess that works for me too, because it gets me stimulated and engaged as opposed to being bored. But I mean, it's going to vary for any person. But whatever you can do to make the experience fun and engaging for you, that's the big, this is kind of a digression for everybody, but one of the biggest lessons that I've had in game recently is that for me, as someone who's been in game 13 years, I'm not going to do stuff anymore that's like bad game. I'm not going to do stuff that's technically bad, but what I will do is I'll be disengaged. I'll be going through the motions. I won't be alive in my own sets. I won't be present. And so for me, and I think this is true for everybody, it's just more so for me because I have a lot of game experience, but the most important part of a set is not gaming the girl, it's gaming yourself, right? It's doing things to keep yourself engaged, doing things to keep yourself having fun, and doing things to keep yourself like enjoying what's going on. And so anything you can do for that, and I think that's why the slap in the face worked, is it engaged me, it snapped me to attention. You know what I mean? So anything that does that for you, and it'll be different for different people. Some people like to dance, some people don't. Some people like to sing, some people don't. Some people shout at the top of their lungs, some people clap. I know a lot of times I'll do this. I'll like just stretch out before my first set. Like there are a few videos that I just saw myself do that, and I realized that that's something I do without even thinking about it. If it's my first set of the day, I'm not really feeling it. Like I'll just do a little quick stretch, and then I'll go. Whatever works for you. Came the wall, says Gio. But yeah, whatever you find that works for you, but it should be engaging and energetic and hopefully fun. Those are the criteria, and it's different for every person.